And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for part 2 of this stream. The only thing you missed after it was a pass on the right side intended for Minor, incomplete, and a roughing the passer call, very late hit on Daniel Holcomb. So roughing the passer called on the defense, and that will move it 15 yards and an automatic first down. So it's the fourth quarter, and the clock is winding down here.
I've had worse.
So third down. Right now it says third down, but they will be moving. They are moving the ball forward, and it will be an automatic first down with roughing the passer. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Actually, now realizing this, the referees did not switch sides at the end of the quarter. A lot of the fans are mentioning here, and the officials not saying anything about switching sides with the fourth quarter here. But regardless, switching the sides, it's a matter of enforcing the rules, of course, but it's up to the referee's discretion at the end of the day, as Hayden Weeks avoiding several tackles, weaving through the defense, and Hayden Weeks is off to the races. Touchdown, Falcons. Unstoppable Hayden Weeks.
I feel like I'm watching a young Derrick Henry running out there. You just can't bring him down, even when you have him wrapped up and it's a good tackle. He just breaks free away from you. And just to add on what you were saying about the refs, it's still the third quarter. Yeah, it can't end the quarter on a penalty. So it's 12 minutes on the clock. That's an untimed down.
Apparently, we're getting a report from a coach that the quarter cannot end on a defensive penalty, so it was an untimed clock for the third quarter. So it is now going to be the fourth quarter. I wish we would have catched that. This is why we need wires with the referees up here, as the point after kicked up. It is good. 53-21 the score at the official end of the third quarter, because again, it cannot end on a defensive penalty, which the referee didn't clarify originally there. But 54-21, the Falcons lead with 12 minutes left, trying to wrap it up here in Suwanee.
Got you on cameraman.
So here's the kickoff for the Falcons. It's up and high and fallen on by Zeitler. Finally corrected by the film guy up here for the Mountain Lions after 3 quarters. It's Blaze Zeitler, not Zettler.
What do you think Suwanee's... I'm asking you the question again.
Oh, no.
What do you think going through Suwanee's head is right now? They've never been down like this so far in the season, or haven't yet. Well, now they are. What do you think is going on through their mind? Like, we've been mowing over our competition so far. No, not really. I take that back. They haven't.
Here's 1st and 10 for the Mountain Lions. I'll answer your question in a bit as Stensby scrambling, tosses it out to Zeitler with the catch. Zeitler out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Caleb Schindel stopping there, but great run by Blaze Zeitler. But as you were saying there, Trent, it's hard to say because they haven't been down like this before. And we did talk to Coach Hargis before the game, and he said one game at a time is their mentality, of course. I'm sure this will sting likely for them, at least with this loss, because they could make it back here, but the likelihood is not likely at this point. But regardless, if it's a win or loss, of course, the amount of points that the Falcons have put up on them, this will sting for a while. But, of course, the Mountain Lions on 1st and 10 here. Zeitler going to rush and gets down to the 25-yard line. So 2nd down, and I'll call this 2nd and 2.
Do you have another fedora, or is that the only one you wear?
I do have a trilby in my closet, and I have some other fedoras there, but this is the primary one that I wear.
Ah, that's your primary.
Yes, it is my primary. As Stensby just passes it out there and roughing the passer.
Or is it might be a delay.
No, the referee threw it right as he got brought down. He threw the flag, so it's going to be roughing the passer. I believe they'll call this on weeks.
I misheard you. I agree with you on that, what you just said. I thought you said, like, PI. Pass interference.
No, nobody could even go. It's an uncatchable ball on that, so it's interesting to see how some things are ruled uncatchable and some pass interferences are called, but that was not a pass interference. So roughing the passer called, so it'll be 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line for the Mountain Lions, so lucky break for them, but they only have 10.5 minutes to work with. So we'll see how they handle it here. Ball snapped, and Stensby running up the middle, and he's into the end zone for a Mountain Lions touchdown.
Yeah. Was just a mess up of the defensive line, to be honest. They left in the middle linebacker for Falcons. They left it wide open. I don't know if they set a blitz or not, but they left it wide open. I'm actually looking over at the sideline. Shindel's shoulder pads are off. I'm noticing that. Sorry, ADHD. My bad. Get distracted very easily. But yeah, that was a good run. Good idea. Don't know if that's a quarterback draw or not. If he just didn't see anybody open when he dropped back, didn't see anybody open, so he just tucked it and run. But good job, Swanee. They're coming back a little bit, but they just got to stop the Falcons' offense.
10:29 left to go in regulation. A 54-28 lead for the Falcons here in Swanee. And Schindel, of course, with his shoulder pads off. Likely he's just going to sit out the rest of the game, maybe rest a little bit. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. There's an onside kick attempted by the Mountain Lions, easily picked up by Brandon Miner. The Falcons, I don't know if they have susceptible to an onside kick yet. The clock running as of now. I'm not sure if it's a 35-point lead yet, though. It's not. So, well, they stopped it now, and there's a few seconds runoff with 10:22 left to go in regulation. So, again, we're not going to do any post-game interviews at this game, but we will rush over to the Webb School in Bell Buckle so that we can broadcast the Feet hosting the Knights. And we'll do some post-game interviews with that one, at least depending on how our battery is for our camera.
Sorry if anybody's tuning in time.
Back at Swanee. After the timeout, it's 1st and 10 on the 45 as Stensby, deep toss on the right side, intended for Toombs, incomplete. Second down. So second down and 10 here for the Mountain Lions. They're still trying to take deep shots and trying to get back in this game.
Just a little update for you. If you're here to watch the Webb play or FCS, don't know why I'm so hyped. We'll sadly be having to start that stream during their second half because we are going to finish out this game, and then we got to drive all the way up from Sewanee to Webb and then set everything up there. So we're going to start as soon as we can.
Across the middle, incomplete pass intended for Steven Zoo. But a flag is thrown. Another flag thrown on the sideline. I believe an unsportsmanlike conduct will be called on the bench. And pass interference.
I don't agree with that call.
And pass interference. It looked like he was touching him just as the ball was coming towards him. It's an interesting call there by
I don't know what the flag was over there, because that came in about 5 seconds later than the first flag. So I'm wondering if it was something the coaches said that sparked the ref off and he threw the flag. I don't really agree with that.
Yeah, it looked like Coach Adams had his hat off. He may have said something to the referee. So it's a pass interference called on Schindel. And it was on Coach Steve Adams that they called that pass interference on Caleb Schindel and the unsportsmanlike conduct on Steve Adams. So they move this all the way up to the 25-yard line for the Mountain Lions, and the official will continue it with 8:25 left to go in the game.
These are the instances where I want instant replay, so I'm going to look back on that and tell you all if that was a PI or if it was clean. In my opinion, from what I saw in the live action, it was okay.
So ball loose and picked up. There's John Buchanan holding it and still on his feet. Buchanan tripped up at the 42-yard line, getting the fumble recovery. Stensby unable to hold on to it.
And that's the guy you want the fumble to land in his hands. That's who you want. I really need to get these coaches' names down, don't I?
Yeah, it's Coach John Hargis of Swanee and Coach Steve Adams of Franklin Christian. And Steve Adams has a personal foul already.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if you could tell, but that was 3. Did I just interrupt you again?
Nah, I didn't have anything else.
That was a back-to-back-to-back flag on the Falcons, making this game go on a little bit longer. Maybe the Falcons don't want to leave Swanee. Maybe that's why they're calling timeout.
They don't want to leave Swanee. They just want to make this victory more sweet than it already is. Or, it's possible that I think there's a theory here. It could be about getting their stats up, just getting numbers up.
I mean, I don't see why. I mean, we're not really huge on numbers and impact. You know that we for the All-Star game, that's the reason why we're doing it. For college, well, for us, we just look at their skill.
And it's touchdown at the 24-yard line by Ben Duncan with 5 minutes, 5:02 left to go in regulation.
And it'll be interesting to see if Sewanee starts playing some of the younger guys. Let them, like, I'm a true believer of letting your JV players get some burn in a varsity game.
Yeah, and I know that you did mention that you and James a few weeks back went to the JV game for Christian Community, and was it Riverside?
It was CCS versus South Haven.
South Haven, okay.
South Haven should be happy for the young guys they got coming up.
That's a rush by Zeitler. So it's 2nd down and 6. This is the game wrapping up here. So the Mountain Lions will take their first loss on the season. They'll go ahead to 5-1. They'll have 1 loss in the division, and the Falcons will remain undefeated in the MTAC South. Their only losses being to the Freedom Cowboys and to the Christian Community Colts.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad because the Sewanee is starting to get a little bit more momentum here. They're making stops on defense, and they're training that back over to points. But if they would have just done that a little bit earlier, they might be in this game.
So it's now 3rd down and 4. Mountain Lions back on offense here as so rush. There's number 11, Dustin Stensby, being chased down. Matthews of the Mountain Lions. Coram not able to hold on to the ball. So the Mountain Lions take over on the 39-yard line. So here's Stensby, fakes the pitch, looking for the pass across the middle. It is caught by 5. That's Bailey McLean into the end zone for the Mountain Lions touchdown.
This is now a 3-possession game. Just want to let you know. If they get the extra point, which I'm sure they will, it'll be an 18-point game.
So it could be a 3-possession game, but with 3 minutes 17 seconds, you're probably not going to see the Falcons make a slip up like they did on the last drive with Zeb Coram. But anything is possible in 8-man football, and a 2-point conversion attempt here for Mountain Lions as it's do or die time as Stensby rushes up the middle and is into the end zone. 61-44 the score. The Mountain Lions down by 17.
So that is 2 8 points. That's just 2 more touchdowns for them. But they have been able to stop another injury with the Falcons over there at the goal line. But Sewanee could possibly come back if they get this onside kick. You know what they're going to do.
Graham Harrison down back at the 3-yard line. Injury timeout. So Graham Harrison on the sideline, he's stretching out. He managed to walk off of the field, so he will be looked at as another onside kick attempt coming here for the Mountain Lions as it's picked up by Hayden Weeks.
They're waiting for it to go 10 yards because
No, all they got to do is get back in that I formation. Give it to Weeks or their newcomer on their team. Let them power it up through the middle with Shindell being hurt. I'm sure they won't give it back to number 1 after that fumble. All they got to do is pound it, make this clock. You know, just keep the clock going down and going down with 3 minutes left. 3 minutes 6 seconds left to go. You know, miracles can happen.
We'll see what the Falcons do here as they hand it off to Buchanan. See, he gets down to the 50-yard line. No gain on the play. Set clock to spot the ball anyway, as the rule, as regulation tells them to, and they now start the clock.
I don't really. Okay, never mind.
Trent wanting to have some redemption here from his clashes with referees in the past.
Oh, well, I was a dirty player when I played.
If you don't see his air quotes, there were air quotes.